Before we get to this week's Monday Town Hall, I want to send out, this is a PSA, a public service message with 100% sincerity. I watch people that I like, I root for some of the same sports teams with. I enjoy their coverage of sports, who were very excited, from what I saw on social media, were very excited that the NFL gave Colin Kaepernick a tryout in front of, about 11 teams signed up to go to this in Atlanta over the weekend. And I want to take your excitement level at face value. I want to see this story the way you see it. Even though I don't see it that way. I see a young man whose adoptive white parents loved on him as their own son and gave him a second chance at life that a lot of people don't get. I see a white high school football coach who so believed in his star player that he took it upon himself to send his tape out to college coaches around the country to get their attention when nobody was. I see his white college football coach, Chris Alt at Nevada, the guy who's credited with creating the pistol offense in football. He's in the Hall of Fame. And I saw him tailor and fit that offense specifically to this underwhelming, skinny recruit named Colin Kaepernick and turn him into a star. I saw his white NFL coach, Jim Harbaugh, draft him higher than anybody thought he deserved to be drafted, who thought he could never work in the NFL because he doesn't fit the model of what they're looking for at that position, who then benched a former number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft, who has gone on to have a fairly successful career, by the way, and who was white. He benched him in the middle of the season in order to put Kaepernick under center and reinvent his entire team and ride him all the way to the Super Bowl. I don't see a young man. I don't see the Kunta Kinte that he had on his T-shirt when he arrived over the weekend. I don't see someone oppressed in a home where he can afford so many pairs of shoes that he has a bedroom just for his shoes. I don't see that. I see an unjust world, by the way, that has given him a lot of grace and mercy and chances. Even these last 4 years, he could have played in the NFL. He just refused to accept that he could not use the league as the platform for his own beliefs. He didn't want to play at that price point. He made that adult decision. He's still a millionaire, by the way. So I don't see it the way you do. I don't see a symbol of oppression or victimhood. In fact, I see someone who's a symbol of Christian grace and mercy, because that's what drove his white family to treat him the way that they did in the first place. That's what I see. I see someone that this world, east of Eden, despite its fallen nature and despite its problems with race and other iniquities, I see a world that's actually been, in the end, fairly just and fairly rewarding to Colin Kaepernick. He is, after all, a member of the 1%. But you don't see it that way, and I respect that, which is why I want to say this to you with the utmost sincerity. I work in conservative media, so I know what a grift is. We're loaded with them. Loaded with them. That's why we've nicknamed it on our show, Clickservatism. I used to be a proud member of a movement that doesn't exist anymore because grifters destroyed it, called the Tea Party. So I'm well aware of what a scam pack looks like. I remember showing up at CPAC early in the dawn of the Tea Party era. And there was an organization there called the Tea Party News Network that was like the main sponsor, had this huge stage where they were outspending everybody else. By the way, you know who their host was? Scotty Hughes. That's how we got to know each other. So yes, I know what a grift is. I know what a political scam is. And I remember walking away thinking, man, I wonder how they can afford all of that. Well, now we know, don't we? So I say this to you with respect. You're being taken advantage of. He is a grifter. 7-car motorcade, the Kunta Kinte t-shirt, that aired about 10 years before he was born, man, on television. And then at the last minute, well, I'm gonna play Darth Vader here and to the NFL's Lando Calrissian and alter the deal. Pray that I'm not altering it any further. He's not interested in playing in the NFL. He's interested in shaking down the NFL. There's other places you can go to. There's examples of police brutality you can go to. Have you looked at what the academic achievement rates in predominantly urban/black school districts where you live happen to be? Have you looked? Those are places where you can really wage a social justice war. And you might even get some support from somebody like me, to be honest with you. But this isn't, nothing principled is happening here. You're being used.